Yo, um, where have I been? It's been like 3 weeks since I posted, but yeah, I went to Japan. So just came back. I do have some vlogs and footages of it, but what I learned from that experience would be that, it's not as easy as just turning on the camera and recording. I mean, it kind of is and it kind of isn't, but I think that's the beauty of it, right? I went there and I vlogged what I could every now and then, but then I just felt like not peer pressure. I think I just felt like I was intruding on like the locals there, so I didn't want to vlog per se. But I think it was a good break. So I mean, like I said in the other videos, consistency, consistency, consistency. So I will get back to it, back to posting, back to doing this. But so it's okay taking a break. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like if you push yourself too hard on the thing that you're trying to strive for, eventually, if you do get burnt out, you're not going to really enjoy doing it, right? And I still enjoy doing this, so I I turned on the camera and vlogged. So it's been it's been peaceful. I think the good mental break and the understanding of like it's okay to like pick it back up where you left off. Like there's no shame. Like you can pick it back up and then keep going. And that's where most people kind of quit, right? Once they lose the motivation, once they lose the momentum, like whatever, like they just stop. Here it's like just pick it back up where you left off, right? That's why some people don't pursue whatever they want in life, whether they want that dream body and then they took a day off, a week off, or whatever, and then they just don't pursue it because then they're like, well, I already missed a day, I already missed two, I already missed a week. Like you just continue that cycle of procrastination, or you just don't want to do it anymore, and you're like, you know, it's already too late, or I didn't do this, but like you can always pick it back up. Like your dreams can be on pause for a little bit, or whatever passion that you have, and you can pick it right back up. So yeah, it was a good 2 weeks with the homies in Japan. So we all just flew out there, did did things. So I personally landed in Haneda first, and then a day after they all pulled up, and then we just explored Yokohama, Tokyo, Kyoto, and then I abruptly had to leave. So I went from the Kicks airport and went home, and then yeah, I'm home chilling, house responsibilities, house stuff. So after coming back, I think it is a it is a good break. I mean, most people think like, oh, you always have to be like constantly busy, constantly filling your schedule, constantly doing things, and that's where you procrastinate. Your brain just wants to do everything that's not important to the things that are actually important. If you just took your time to just relax and take a little break, just a little bit. I mean, I think it's a very unhealthy habit if you just keep going, 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 right? Like you're gonna blow an engine. You're gonna blow like a fuse in your head where you're not mentally there anymore. Like you're just mentally checked out. So you're just going through the motions, right? And I just took that break, and then it makes you realize like when I came back, I didn't really have to fill my schedule. I didn't really have to do any of that. Like I just wanted to relax for a bit, and then I picked it back up, client meetings and stuff like that on a Saturday and Sunday, and then continue on now, right? And now I just turn on the camera when I feel like it, right? Like when you feel actually want to do it. But I mean, some days you don't feel like you want to do it, but you should do it, right? This is also kind of one of those days like I wanted to do it. Like I want to get up and start that, you know, first recap episode again, like just get back into it. But also at the same time, it shouldn't feel like it's a pressure. Like it shouldn't feel like a job, right? Things that you enjoy, that you love, it shouldn't feel like a job. So coming from that perspective, I think that I keep reiterating that trip was like a refresher. It was a refresher, like a mental reset if you think about it. I just enjoyed it with a couple of homies for 2 whole weeks. Like no real priority, no real agenda there. Like our schedule was free as a bird, man. We can go in any direction, do whatever. There were some things on the itinerary that we went to, and that was already like booked or appointment wise. But for the most part, it was just enjoying it, man. Like some examples that we did over there was like, dude, we just mentioned like capybaras, and was like, book it. Let's go book like an appointment there, and then we went to see capybaras. I have some clips of those in there, and then I think like the same day we're like, dude, what other animals do they have there? And then we ended up going to see owls. Like it was on like the eighth floor. We went to the eighth floor, and then we got owls. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? This is so cool. And like one landed on my head. It was crazy. Like the guys had been like breeding them since like forever. So he just had a whole bunch of them. And then yeah, just eating good food, exploring, and having a refresher, a mental reset, like that reset button where it's like just relax. It's like live in the moment. Like some things don't need to be, business related, monetary value, or like something to gain, right? I went to the trip because the homies, when we went to the shooting range, was like last minute was like, hey yo, you want to go to Japan with us? So then that switched my annual plan to go to Japan by myself. Usually it switched to, okay, I will meet you guys there, since I wanted to go a little earlier first, since it just fit the point conversions for the flights. So I got to fly ANA first class. So it was pretty cool. I think I got to eat more actual like cultured food, like Japanese cuisine. So it was like marinated miso cod, and then like the cold noodles when I was landing. So it was a cool switch up of culinary dishes compared to if I just went Delta first or United Polaris, right? Those just have like the typical like, your little rice dish with maybe like some curry, like tonkatsu, like stuff like that. But I think, yeah, it's a good first experience. Like you try everything. So I was like, I saw the opportunity for point conversions to ANA first, so I went on ANA. That's also a good instance. I was up there in ANA first, and it was just like nerve wracking to turn on the camera and like just people looking at me. Like I have my life figured out, but I still don't have this turn on the camera and talk to myself type confidence. I think it's something I gotta work through. But as any place, you gotta start, right? I mean, I did record like a couple seconds every now and then on there because I tried. But during the trip, it was like towards the end of the trip, we were just constantly on the motion. So as soon as we woke up, all of us had a plan. We got on the train and we went to the place that we wanted to go to. And I don't know, it felt like an inconvenience or like kind of ruining the mood if I were just to pull out the camera and click vlog. So I was just more enjoying it with the homies, right? Like how often do, trips in a group chat actually make it out into, the real world? So when they offered, they're like, yo, you want to come with us, in November? I was like, fuck it, making it, because in the end, it's about the memories and experiences that you make with others. It's more so that than any car, any house, or any materialistic thing that you can honestly hold on to, right? Like, I probably won't ever be able to re-replicate it until like next year, where we're just all like shit-faced on the street, making it to the train station, making it home, and passing out with them, right? We ate all you can eat over there. So it's Yakiniku is what it's called over there. So we basically cooked to our heart's intent. Like it was all you can eat, but then the best part was it was also all you can drink. So like we just got hammered. We just got hammered, drank all, and like just roaming that street at night. Like I don't remember specifically what street, but it was in Yokohama somewhere. But we were just walking that iconic street back to our Airbnb, and it's memorable. Like I enjoyed it. I lived it. So for the homies that went on the trip and are watching this, like I truly enjoyed it with you guys. It was fun. It was fun. I got to do everything I wanted to. Cause last trip, so for last year when I went with my best friend over there, and it was like, that was when like the JR pass was still like lower, like the lower rate. So it was actually like 200 instead of the 300 now it is. But we took like the Shinkansen every fucking day to like a different prefecture. So that one was more of like not a more like, instead of a traveler's experience, it was more like an adventurous. So like every morning we'd wake up at 5 a.m. and bullet train off to like the next area, whatever. And then we'd spend the whole day there, and then we'd time it like 7, 8 to take the bullet or the Shinkansen back to Osaka. So it was always like each new prefecture. Compared to this trip with the homies, right? It was more so I got to explore Yokohama, Tokyo, and Kyoto. So I actually got to live a more laxed pace, like, trip. And I think that's what I learned this year. Everything in strides. Everything in strides and in time. You cannot constantly keep running. Like, imagine you're in a marathon. You cannot keep constantly running at full sprint. Like, you're gonna get tired. You're gonna go through exhaustion. You're gonna go through fatigue. But if you perfectly time that you need to run or like in strides or jog a little bit, take a little break, then continue and pick it right back up, that's perfectly fine. So that's what exactly this is, you know, picking it back in strides. So this is a little short recap video. I'll probably have more train of a thought of a direction for the next video. I do have prior videos where I got to Japan and I was talking about like you should just do it in the moment. So I'll probably post those whenever I get a chance. But yeah, little short video. I'm back, guys. So I'll continue vlogging. Peace.